Well, my name's Russell Edwards. I'm a film critic based in Sydney and a long-term visitor to Korea, mainly for the purposes of investigating the film scene. It was actually quite by accident. I already had an interest in Asian film. I'd been to the Tokyo Film Festival, I'd been to the Hong Kong Film Festival, and I received an invitation to be on a jury at the Busan International Film Festival in 1999. And at that stage, I knew virtually nothing about Korean film. But when I got there, every day was a revelation. So the opening night film was Lee Chong-dong's Peppermint Candy. Every day I saw art house films, I saw genre films, romances, action films, and it was Lee Myung-sae's Nowhere to Hide that really put the hook in me. And from that point on, I was addicted. When I came back to Australia from Busan, I went to Campsie, hit the Korean video stores, spent about a year watching Korean videos with no English subtitles until I was ready to go to Busan again. My favourite Korean film absolutely would have to be Joint Security Area, or JSA as it's widely known. I mean, it's an intensely political film because of its focus on the division in the Korean peninsula, but it's a great picture about Korean people, and it also, despite the political intensity, has room for humour, it's very tender, it's just a very impressive piece of work. If I had to boil it down to one film, I'd actually have to give you two films. One would be Memories of Murder. Now, I understand that serial killers is not everybody's cup of tea, but the other film that I would recommend would be Sunny. It's an ensemble picture with Korean actresses, both established and young, and it's a tremendously charming film, and I've never heard anyone say a bad word about it. My first connection with Korean cinema actually happened when I was at the Sydney Film Festival. I kind of facilitated the bringing of Jung Sun-woo's Timeless Bottomless Bad movie to the Sydney Film Festival in 1997. And then, a couple of years later, I got this invitation to go to the Busan International Film Festival in 1999. And as I said, at the time I knew virtually nothing about it. And I kept going to Busan. In fact, I've been to Busan every year since 1999. Also expanded out to include other festivals like Jeonju International Film Festival and the Bucheon International Fantastic Film Festival, known as BIFAN. But it's Busan that I'm most closely associated with. So I've given programming advice there, I've hosted Q&As in Busan, I often edit the catalogue, and I'm currently an advisor to the Asian film market at Busan. But also outside of that, my knowledge about Korean cinema has led me to give lectures here at the Sydney Korean Cultural Centre on Korean film history, and I've actually been in one Korean film.
Oh, which one?
It's called One Night Stand. It's a low-budget film. I think, for me, the main thing about Korean film that makes it special is that when I go to Korea, the people that I meet seem to be accurately reflected by the people I see on the screen. Now, that doesn't sound like such a big deal, but it's a lot harder to do than people would think. And I think that sense of authenticity really makes Korean films very special. I mean, there's also the high production values of most of the mainstream films. They're very glossy, they're well edited, they're well directed, but I think that authenticity is the main thing that attracts me to Korean cinema. Film is a window to the world, and one of the things about, if you ask someone about China, they have a picture in their head. If you ask them about Japan, they have a picture in their head. But unless someone has interacted with Koreans, often if you say Korea, they have a blank space in their head. And I was no different before I went there for the first time. So film really kind of opened the society up to me. I got to see how complex it was, the political levels, how rich the culture was, that it's very modern, but it also has deep roots, traditional roots. And I think that Australians, once they get a taste of what's on offer in Korean society, really can see, can appreciate this through film. I would like to see it continue to flourish, and I would like for Korean film to be more widely appreciated around the world, but I would also hope that Korean film would be free from political interference at the domestic level. There's been a bit of that in the past couple of years, and I don't mind government guidance because government has been previously very supportive of the Korean film industry, but currently, like censorship is another issue, and I think that I would like to see those kind of constraints removed. The thing for me is, as I've said, there are lots of different entry points for Korean cinema for all kinds of film buffs, but I think if you take a look at Korean cinema, it will open up a whole new world to you.